Good morning, everybody. The 25th of December. We know what that is. Mark's ready for the book, The Man of the Kingdom, page 12 through 14.
Man of the Kingdom, page 12 through 14. That we may be like all the nations, Israel will now conform to the world. Conformity is secure of mankind. Breeds as every ill, from it springs all mortal. From it springs all moral, spiritual, political, philosophical, economical, and social heresy and evil to which man is subject. Conformity destroys individuality and character. Be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Romans 12:2. Conformity is insidious. Who dares to be different? We choose the easy way, and that way is conformity. Human government could not exist without conformity. Is Christianity opposed to conformity? Yes. Is it then opposed to human government? Yes. What government does Christianity sanction? The government of God, the lordship of Christ. Can we have both government of God and men, or men and God? Never. Let us state it plainly. No man is a Christian who conforms to the world. No church is a Christian church that conforms to the world. Christians must conform to Christ. Romans 8:29. Regardless of profession or appearance, nothing is Christian is unlike Christ. And men, government, society, churches, and nations are Christian only as they conform to Christ. Men cannot be Christian, something else too. They cannot be communists and be Christian. They cannot be Democrats, Republicans, Socialists, Masons, or what have you, and be Christian. Nations and governments cannot be both political and Christian, or can they be ruled by both God and men? It's not possible to serve two masters, God and mammon. Matthew 6:24. The choice of human government is rejection of God, and the choice of God's government must be rejection of human government. The thing displeased Samuel, literally, it was evil in his eyes. Human government is evil. The penalty man pays for his sin is only because men are sinners and they must be governed. Rid the world of sin, human government would disappear overnight. The man who bows before God's throne needs no other government. Knowing this, that the law is not made for the righteous man, but the lawless and disobedient and ungodly, for sinners, for holy and profane, for murderers of fathers and murderers of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing that is contrary to sound doctrine, according to the glorious gospel of God, blessed God, 1 Timothy 1:9-11. Show them the manner of the king that shall reign over them. In chapter 10 and verse 25, this is called the manner of the kingdom. The meaning is the character and nature of the government. Note this well, for it is the character and nature of all government and men evermore. He will take 6 times this phrase is used. He will appoint, he will give, is used equal number of times. Take the word means to confiscate by force, to steal. Human government is a thief, whatever it is. Whatever it has is stolen. Whatever it gets, it must steal. If it is to exist, government has no alternative but to steal, for that is the one way it can obtain anything. These shall be his servants. Human government is immoral. It is a predator, an oppressor, and a liar. There is no moral way for government to obtain anything or to do anything. Its every act is immoral. Under any human government, men always lose their freedom. They become slaves of the state. This is inevitable, for government is never a benefactor. It invariably and always is a slave master. What a terrible price men pay for rejecting the sovereignty and government of God. They lose their freedom, they lose their property, they lose their character, they lose their individuality, they lose all, they lose their souls. But the worst is yet to come. Let us not trifle ignore the stern awful realities of life. When men reject the sovereignty and government of God, are they then quite done with God? When God is excluded from the life, is the life then through with God? Is there some point at which men may dismiss God from their lives and affairs and never have to reckon with Him more? The answer is no. Regardless of what men do, God is still sovereign. There is no point where that sovereignty breaks down or fails. God cannot be disposed or dispensed with. He is not a mere convenience to be used or not as men choose. God is the one necessity of the universe. Men can never escape the necessity of reckoning with God. And you shall cry out in that day because your king, which you shall have chosen you, and the Lord will not hear you in that day. However long and bright the day, the night inevitably comes. Somewhere the dark shadow falls. Intolerable pain seizes upon the life. The soul is overwhelmed, drowned in inexpressible sorrow of the soul, is sorrowful unto death. The heart is pierced through with anguish and weeps in sad loneliness. All friends and fail, and no help can be found anywhere. What then? And ye shall cry out. The language here is vivid and startling. Ye shall cry out, not in joy and gladness, not in faith and hope. The cry will not be spontaneous. The cry shall be wrung out of you in the bitterness and loneliness of final and utter despair and dismay of unspeakable and indescribable sadness. The cry shall be forced from you, prostrate under the yoke of oppression, knowing that all is lost and can never be regained. You shall cry out. The Lord will not hear you in that day. No answer will come to the anguished and bitter cry. No angel will come to minister to strengthen and comfort. Your cry will be greeted by a silence unbroken, save by the echo of your own hollow and mocking wall. You shall know the invariable bitterness of being answered by your own cry. But if a man live many years and rejoice in them all, yet let them remember the days of darkness, for they shall be many. All that come is vanity. Ecclesiastes 11:8.
Well, I hope you all have a good day today. And if you get a chance, listen to the broadcast I did entitled From the Foundation of the World. I think you'll find it interesting, to say the least. It's an area that's not covered very often. Have a good day.